Welcome back to another dark corner of the wasteland. Today we are diving into one of the most horrifying fates that can befall anyone in the Mojave. We are talking about Vault-22 and the Spore Carrier infection. What really happens when those green spores get under your skin? This is not just another Vault horror story. This is about the slow transformation from human into something that hunts. About watching yourself become a monster. About the green growth spreading through your body while your consciousness gets smaller and smaller until there is nothing left but the fungus wearing your face. This is about becoming a plague vector, about infecting everyone you touch, about being trapped inside your own reanimated corpse while it spreads nightmares. And if you genuinely enjoy this kind of dark storytelling, consider subscribing and liking the channel, but only if it truly resonates with you. Now, let me tell you what it feels like when something green starts growing under your skin. I need to tell you what it feels like when something green starts growing under your skin. My name was Marcus Chen. I was a junior botanist in Vault-22. Past tense matters here, because whatever I am now is not quite human anymore. I am recording this on a salvaged holotape because I need someone to understand what happens when you breathe in those spores. I need you to know what they do to you, how they change you, how they make you into something that hunts. The coughing started 3 weeks ago. At first, it was nothing, just a tickle in my throat, the kind of thing you ignore because you have work to do and deadlines to meet. We were working on enhanced fertilizer compounds in the food production labs. Important work, world-changing work, or so we told ourselves. The air recyclers had been acting up for days, but maintenance said everything checked out. No harmful gases detected, just some residue in the filters. Nothing to worry about. But I kept coughing. Dr. Peters in the medical wing was the first to go completely. He called in sick for 3 days straight. Severe pneumonia, they said. The doctors ran every test they knew. They found something in his lungs. A microorganism they could not identify. It looked like fungal growth, but that was impossible. We were in a sealed environment. Underground, protected, safe. He died on the 4th day. They performed an autopsy immediately. I was not supposed to see the reports, but I accessed the terminal when no one was looking. His lungs were filled with it. Completely colonized. Thick mats of fungal tissue spreading through the alveoli like roots through soil. The medical examiner noted something that made my blood cold. The fungus was still growing, still spreading, even though Peters was dead. Then Peters sat up on the examination table and attacked the doctor. They sealed medical immediately, locked it down, but by then half the vault was coughing, including me. We did not know what we were dealing with. The scientists on the 5th floor, the pest control division, they were the ones who figured it out first. They had been working with something called Beauveria mordicana, a fungus designed to kill insects by colonizing their bodies and taking control. They had samples from Big MT, from the X-22 botanical garden. The fungus was designed to infest pests, colonize them from the inside, kill them through organ failure, then continue to grow and control the dead body to spread more spores. Someone had made a mistake, maybe a containment breach, maybe just carelessness. The spores had gotten into the ventilation system. We had all been breathing them in for weeks. Months maybe, building up in our lungs with every breath. Waiting. I started feeling the chills on day 6. Not the normal kind of cold you get from a fever. This was different. It felt like ice forming in my marrow, like winter settling into my bones. I wrapped myself in blankets but could not get warm. My body temperature read normal on the scanner, but I felt frozen from the inside out. The fungus was spreading through my bloodstream. I could feel it moving, branching, taking root. The fever came next, swinging wildly from freezing to burning. I would wake up soaked in sweat and then shivering minutes later. My thoughts started to fragment. Time became strange. I would lose hours and not remember where they went. The medical staff tried every antifungal treatment in the pharmacy. Nothing worked. My body rejected every medication, pushed it back out. The fungus would not let me be cured. That was when I understood. The fungus wanted to live. It was protecting itself, using my immune system against me. The cough got worse, deep and racking, like my lungs were trying to turn themselves inside out. I coughed up blood mixed with something green, thick and stringy. It smelled like wet earth, like decomposition. I tried to hide it, but everyone was coughing now. The sound echoed through the halls, a chorus of the dying. By day 10, I could see the growth starting. There was a patch on my forearm where the skin looked wrong, slightly green, slightly raised. When I pressed on it, the texture felt different, firmer, like there was something solid underneath. I scratched at it and the skin flaked away to reveal what looked like tiny green filaments, thread-thin strands of fungus growing just beneath the surface. I stopped looking in mirrors after that. The dreams started around day 12, except they were not really dreams, more like visions, impressions. I would close my eyes and suddenly I could sense the other infected people in the vault, not see them exactly, but know where they were, feel their presence like warm spots on a map inside my head, and beneath it all, a constant whisper. The fungus talking to itself through all of us, building a network. We were becoming nodes in something larger. The scientists tried to contain the outbreak, but it was too late. The infection had spread too far too fast. They decided to flood the lower levels with flammable gas and ignite it, burn out the infection before it consumed everyone. I was in the atrium when they activated the system. I heard the hiss of gas flowing through the pipes, saw the scientists in their hazmat suits preparing the ignition charges. Then the Spore Carriers came. The gas release triggered a defensive reaction from the reanimated infected. They attacked the scientists with sudden ferocious aggression, tearing into them before the plan could be completed. I watched Dr. Carl get pulled into a maintenance tunnel by something that used to be her research assistant. I heard her screaming, then I heard her stop. The creatures that had been people moved with terrible purpose, fast and coordinated. The fungus was controlling them completely now, using their bodies as weapons to protect itself from the fire. I ran. I made it to the residential level and barricaded myself in my quarters. Outside I could hear fighting, screaming, the sound of bodies hitting walls, then silence. The kind of silence that means everyone is either dead or hiding. I stayed quiet for 2 days, drinking water from my personal supply, eating nothing, afraid to make any noise, but I could feel it growing inside me. The fever had passed. The chills had stopped. That should have been good news, but it was not. It meant the fungus had won. It had finished colonizing my body. Now it was just waiting for me to die so it could fully take control. On day 15, I noticed the green was spreading. Not just on my arm anymore. I could see it creeping up my neck when I touched my throat, feel it under the skin of my chest. It was growing faster now, accelerating. I tried to cut it out with a scalpel from my first aid kit. The blade went in and I felt almost nothing. No pain, just pressure. When I pulled the skin back, I saw the fungal threads running through my muscle tissue like veins, hundreds of them, thousands, so deeply integrated that removing them would mean removing everything. I was more fungus than human now. The wound started growing plants, actual small sprouts pushing up through the cut, tiny leaves unfurling. That was when I really understood. The fungal colony continues to expand through the body even after death, eventually establishing control over motor functions to create spore carriers. This was not an infection anymore. This was a transformation. The fungus was not trying to kill me. It was trying to become me. I started hearing voices on day 17. Not voices exactly, more like thoughts that were not mine. Impulses, urges. The fungus whispering through the network it had built inside my brain. It wanted me to go downstairs, to join the others, to become part of the colony properly. I fought against it, but the urge got stronger every hour. There were 118 of us left. The ones who were infected but not yet dead, not yet fully taken over. We gathered in the atrium and looked at each other with hollow eyes. Everyone had the green showing now. Visible growths on skin, fungal mats forming over wounds. Some people had plants growing from their mouths. Others had mushrooms sprouting from their shoulders. Someone suggested we leave the vault. Try to find help. Try to outrun what was happening to us. But I knew better. I could feel the fungus in my lungs expanding with every breath. It was just a matter of time. 10 to 20 days, the terminal had said. Some of us were already past that. Walking corpses held together by fungal threads. But we left anyway. What choice did we have? Stay and definitely die? Or run and maybe find something? We armed ourselves with whatever we could carry. Pistols, submachine guns, a few rifles. Not that weapons would help against what was growing inside us, but it made us feel less helpless. We sealed the vault behind us, left it to the carriers and the spore plants and whatever else the fungus would create in our absence. The Mojave sun hit my face and I realized I had not been outside in years. The vault was my whole world. Now that world was dead and I was walking away from its corpse. We moved north, following old maps, trying to stay ahead of whatever was hunting us. But the real hunter was inside us, growing, spreading, waiting. I coughed every mile. We all did. The sound of 118 people slowly drowning in their own lungs. The coughing never stopped, deep and wet and wrong. Locals heard us coming from miles away, started calling us the coughers. They avoided us. ran when they saw the green on our skin, knew instinctively that we were plague carriers, contaminated, dangerous. They were right to run. By the time we reached Zion Canyon, only 100 of us were still walking. 18 had collapsed on the journey. Their bodies gave out, organ failure. Just like Peter's, just like everyone who caught the full infection. We left them where they fell, kept moving. What else could we do? We were all dying anyway. Zion was beautiful, red stone walls rising up around clear water. Green growing everywhere but the normal kind, the healthy kind. Not the sick green that was consuming us from inside. We set up camp near the river, tried to rest, tried to pretend we were not monsters becoming something worse. There were other people already there. Mexican survivors, refugees from somewhere south, maybe 40 of them. They had families, children. They were building something, creating a new life in the canyon. We should have stayed away from them. But the fungus had different ideas. I started feeling the urge again on the second day, stronger than before. Not just whispers anymore, commands. The network inside my head was getting louder, more insistent. It wanted to spread. That was its only purpose, to colonize, to grow, to infect new hosts. What do you think really happened here? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would like to know if I am the only one who feels this way. We attacked them on February 11th. I want to tell you I fought against it, that I resisted the impulse, that some part of my humanity held strong. But that would be a lie. When the network pushed, I moved with the others. We were coordinated, organized. The fungus had been planning this through all of us. We hit their camp at dawn, quiet and efficient. The men died first. Quick shots, no hesitation. The fungus knew they were the biggest threat. We took the women and children, herded them back to our camp like livestock. I remember doing it. Remember my hands zip-tying their wrists. Remember their faces. But it felt like watching someone else, like I was a passenger in my own body. The fungus was driving now. We penned them in with barbed wire and posts, set up guards on rotation, patrols around the perimeter. Someone still thinking tactically, still using military logic. But for what purpose? What were we planning? The answer came 3 days later when the first of the Mexican prisoners died. Exposure maybe, fear, shock, I do not know. What I do know is what we did next. They butchered the body, cut it into pieces, cooked it over our fires, and we ate, all of us. I remember the taste, remember chewing and swallowing. My conscious mind was screaming, but my body kept eating. The fungus needed calories, needed energy to finish its work inside us. It did not care where that energy came from. The Vault-22 dwellers killed and consumed the Mexican survivors they had captured, driven by the infection and the desperation of their deteriorating condition. That was when someone started killing us. The first death was quick. One of our sentries just dropped during his watch. We found him with a hole in his skull, clean shot, long range. We doubled the guards, set up overlapping fields of fire, but it did not matter. The next night, 2 more died, booby-trapped bodies, explosives rigged to corpses we tried to recover. Whoever was hunting us knew what they were doing. His name was Randall Clark. We never saw him, just his work. He moved through the canyon like a ghost, picking us off one by one. By the end of February, he had killed 24 of us, a third of our group in 10 days. The fungus tried to coordinate our response, but Clark was too good, too patient. He had the terrain, had the high ground, had righteous anger on his side. We had coughs and green skin, and the knowledge that we were already dead. The infection was accelerating in all of us now. The fungus had finished its colonization. Now it was optimizing, strengthening its network. I could feel the other infected more clearly than ever. Not just their locations, but their thoughts, their fears, their slowly dimming humanity. We were becoming a hive, a collective consciousness held together by fungal threads. My skin was more plant than flesh now. The green had spread to cover most of my body. Where I had wounds, vegetation grew. Not small sprouts anymore, full plants. I had ferns growing from a gash on my shoulder. Mushrooms clustered along my rib cage where I had cracked a bone. My own body was becoming a garden for the fungus to cultivate. I stopped eating regular food around day 25. Could not stomach it anymore. The fungus had changed my digestive system, optimized it for breaking down different materials. I found myself drawn to decomposing organic matter, to the smell of rot. My body knew instinctively that was what I needed now. Nutrients from decay, minerals from breakdown. The fungus was preparing me for what came next. Death and reanimation. I could feel it getting closer. My organs were failing one by one. Kidneys first, then liver. The fungus had penetrated so deeply into my tissues that removing it would mean removing everything vital. So it just kept spreading, kept growing, kept preparing to take full control when my brain finally shut down. Some of us went faster than others. Johnson collapsed on day 30, massive organ failure. We watched him die, watched him stop breathing, then watched him stand back up 10 minutes later. His eyes were empty, no recognition, no personality, just the fungus wearing his body like a suit. He wandered away from camp and we let him go. He was hunting now, looking for hosts to infect. The spore clouds started appearing when we moved, visible puffs of green floating in the air around us. Every breath we took expelled thousands of spores. Millions, maybe. We were walking infection vectors. Everything we touched became contaminated. The ground where we walked, the water we waded through, the air we breathed out. Zion was becoming infected because of us. Clark kept killing us. Different methods now, more brutal. I think he figured out we were diseased, that we were spreading something. His attacks became less about tactics and more about extermination. He burned the bodies instead of looting them, used incendiaries, tried to contain what we were spreading. But you cannot burn spores that are already in the air. By month 4, we had lost another 20 people. Some to Clark, some to the infection. Some just disappeared. Walked away from camp one night and never came back. The fungus took them fully and they became carriers, mindless spreaders. We would find them sometimes, standing in vegetation, dormant, waiting for prey to pass by so they could spray spores and infect new hosts. I was holding on by threads, literal fungal threads running through my nervous system. They were the only thing keeping my body functioning. My heart barely beat, my lungs barely inflated, but the fungus kept me moving, kept me walking, kept me useful. The network was so strong now that individual thoughts barely mattered. When I tried to think my own thoughts, the collective would wash over them, drown them out. I could feel 96 minds all thinking in synchronization, all focused on the same goal: spread, grow, infect, survive. The Mexican prisoners had all died by month 6. We had eaten them, all of them. The fungus needed the calories, needed the proteins. We were burning through resources faster than we could gather them. Our bodies were breaking down despite the fungal reinforcement. We needed constant fuel just to keep moving. Some of us started eating our own dead. When Martinez collapsed from organ failure, we butchered him within hours. The fungus had no sentiment, no loyalty, just survival instinct. If something died, it became food. That was the rule now. We were recycling our own people to feed the colony, to keep the network running a little longer. Clark saw it. I know he did. I saw his scope flash on a ridge one day, saw him watching us through his rifle sight, watching us eat our own. I think that broke something in him. His attacks became more vicious after that, more frequent. He was trying to wipe us out completely now, exterminate the infection before it could spread further. He was right to try. If you have ever wondered what choice you would make in a situation like this, tell me in the comments. I will be reading them. My arms were covered in bark by month 8. Not metaphorically, actual bark, rough and brown and woody. The fungus had transformed the tissue completely. My fingers barely bent anymore. The joints had fused with fungal growth. I could still grip things, still hold weapons, but it was more like branches closing around objects than human manipulation. I caught my reflection in the river one morning and did not recognize what looked back. The face was mine, but wrong. Green patches covered my cheeks. Mushrooms grew from my hairline. My eyes had a cloudy film over them, not cataracts, fungal growth across the corneas. I could still see, but everything had a green tint now. Like looking through stained glass. We were monsters, every single one of us, walking nightmares that should not exist. The network told us to move on month 10. Too many losses, too much attrition. Clark had killed 80 of our original 118. The infection had claimed another 20. Only 34 of us left. Not enough to maintain a viable colony. Not enough to spread effectively. We needed to find new territory, new hosts, new opportunities to propagate. We ate our remaining dead before we left. Every corpse, every piece. The fungus was efficient about it. Nothing went to waste. We packed up what weapons still worked and headed out. Left Zion behind with its red rocks and clear water now contaminated with our spores. Clark did not follow. I think he was satisfied we were leaving. Satisfied he had driven us out, he let us go. But we left infection behind. Spores in the soil, in the vegetation, in the water. Years later, travelers would find spore carriers in Zion. Find spore plants growing where we had camped. Find the fungus still thriving in the places we had touched. After 10 months of losses to both Clark's attacks and the infection, the remaining Vault-22 dwellers fled Zion Canyon, Having consumed their own dead for survival, we headed east, stumbling, coughing, leaving spore trails behind us. I was dying for real now. No more reprieve. My organs were shutting down in sequence. Liver gone, kidneys gone, intestines barely functional. The fungus was keeping me animated, but even it could not stop complete systemic failure forever. I fell behind the group on day 3, could not keep up. My legs would not work right. The fungal threads in my muscles were breaking down. I collapsed near a dried creek bed and could not get back up. The others kept walking. The network did not care about individuals, only the collective. If I could not contribute, I was irrelevant. I lay there for 6 hours before my heart finally stopped. Then I stood back up. Not me, not Marcus Chen. That person died when his heart stopped beating. What stood up was a spore carrier, a vehicle for the fungus. My body was just transportation now, a way for Bovariia mordicana to move through the wasteland and spread its infection. I want you to understand something. I am still in here, some fragment of consciousness, some echo of who I used to be, trapped inside this body that no longer belongs to me. Watching through eyes I cannot control, feeling through nerves that do not respond to my will. The fungus lets me observe, lets me experience, but I cannot act, cannot speak, cannot do anything except watch. This is what happens when you are infected by the spore carriers in Vault-22. This is the progression, the transformation, the horror of becoming something that hunts and infects and spreads. You die, then you come back wrong, then you spread it to everyone you touch. I am walking through the wasteland right now, moving toward populated areas. Following chemical gradients the fungus can sense. Carbon dioxide from breathing, warmth from living bodies. Signs of potential hosts, I will find them. Get close, then spray spores in a cloud around my body. Infect everyone nearby, and they will go through what I went through. The coughing, the fever, the green growth, the transformation, the death, the reanimation. They will become carriers. They will spread it further. The fungus will grow. The network will expand. The infection will continue. I cannot stop it. Cannot warn them. Cannot do anything except watch through dead eyes as my body hunts. This recording is the only act of will I have left. I found this holotape in my pocket. The fungus does not understand technology, does not recognize it as a threat. So I managed to activate it, managed to speak while the body was dormant, managed to leave this testimony. If this story has kept you listening this far, and you want more of these dark confessions from the wasteland, hit that subscribe button. It tells me someone out there is still paying attention to warnings like these. If you find this recording, do not go to Vault-22. Do not investigate the spore plants. Do not approach anyone showing signs of infection. Green skin, plant growth from wounds, that terrible racking cough. Stay away. Burn anything contaminated. The fungus spreads through spores in the air. One breath is all it takes. I am moving again. The body is walking. I can feel it hunting. Feel it searching for prey, for hosts, for victims. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for what I am about to do, for what I cannot stop myself from doing. The fungus is forever. The network is expanding, and I am trapped inside a monster that used to be me. The body walks for days, weeks. Time has no meaning anymore. Day and night are just light levels, just visual data the fungus processes to optimize hunting patterns. I am awareness without agency, consciousness without control, a ghost haunting my own corpse. We found a settlement on day 16 of walking. Small trading outpost, maybe 30 people. Caravans passing through. The body approached slowly. Non-threatening posture. The fungus is smart enough to know that obvious danger gets killed before it can spread. So it makes me walk like I am injured, makes me stumble, makes me seem helpless. A woman came out to help. Sarah. I heard them call her Sarah. She put her hand on my shoulder to steady me and I felt the body tense, felt the fungal sacs in my chest cavity compress. Then the spore cloud erupted, thick and green and everywhere. Sarah breathed it in. The 2 men who ran over to help breathed it in. The guard at the gate breathed it in. 4 new infections in 30 seconds. The body walked away before they could react, before they understood what had happened. They would feel fine for days, maybe a week. Then the coughing would start. Then the fever. Then the green growth under their skin. Then death and reanimation. 4 more carriers to spread the infection further. 4 more nodes in the network. I screamed inside my own head, but no sound came out. The fungus had sealed my throat, filled it with growth. My vocal cords were just more tissue for it to colonize. The network is bigger now. I can feel hundreds of infected minds, maybe thousands, all connected, all spreading. Vault-22 was just the beginning. Ground zero, but Bovariia mordicana is in the wild now, in multiple locations, growing, adapting, evolving. Some carriers have been infected so long their bodies barely resemble human anymore. Complete transformation. They look like walking plants, covered head to toe in vegetation. Mushrooms growing from every surface, vines wrapped around limbs. They are slow but nearly indestructible. You have to burn them completely to stop the fungus. Others are fresh, recently turned. They still look mostly human, still have faces that are recognizable. Those are the most dangerous because people do not see them coming, do not recognize the threat until the spores are already in the air, already in their lungs, already beginning the colonization process. My body has been a carrier for 3 months now. The fungus has optimized everything. My muscle tissue has been reinforced with fungal fibers, stronger than human muscle, faster. My bones have fungal growth in the marrow, making them denser, harder to break. My organs are gone completely, replaced with specialized fungal structures. One produces spores constantly. One processes nutrients from anything organic. One maintains the network connection. I am not human anymore. I am a machine built from human parts and fungal components. A hybrid designed for one purpose: spread the infection. The body does not need to eat often, maybe once a week. When it does, it seeks out decomposing matter, dead animals, rotting vegetation, anything breaking down. The fungus has built a digestive system that extracts nutrients from decay with incredible efficiency. What would make a human sick is perfect food for a spore carrier. I watched the body feed 3 days ago, found a dead Brahmin, maybe a week deceased, bloated and crawling with maggots. The body knelt down and began eating, tearing chunks of rotten flesh, swallowing without chewing. The maggots did not matter, the smell did not matter. The fungus needed the calories and proteins and minerals. Everything else was irrelevant. I remember when that would have made me vomit, when I had a gag reflex, when I had standards about food. That person is so far away now, so distant, like a dream I once had about being human. The network shows me other carriers, other perspectives. I can see through their eyes sometimes when the connection is strong. There is a carrier in Vault-22 right now, standing in the food production level, dormant, waiting. It has been there for months, years maybe, just waiting for someone to come close enough to infect. Patient, tireless. The fungus does not get bored. There is another carrier near Arroyo, far north. It must have traveled from Zion, following some instinct, some directive from the network. It infected a small family last week, parents and 2 children. The network will gain 4 more nodes soon, 4 more spreaders. There are carriers at Big MT, at the X22 Botanical Garden where this all started. The source of the fungus. They are different there, more evolved. The original strain. They produce more spores, stronger spores, more infectious spores. They are what we will all become eventually, what the fungus is building toward. The fungus originated at the X22 Botanical Garden at Big MT before being shared with Vault-22, and spore carriers can be found at both locations. I have seen 12 settlements infected now, watched through the network as carriers approached, as they released spores, as people breathed in their doom without knowing. The fungus is spreading exponentially. Every new carrier creates more carriers. Every infected host becomes a spreader. The mathematics are inevitable. In 10 years, the Mojave will be overrun. In 20, all of the Southwest. In 50, maybe the whole continent. The fungus is patient. It does not need speed. Just persistence. Just constant spreading. It will outlive everything. Outlast everyone. There was a researcher at Vault-22, Keely. She came after everyone was dead. After the vault was silent except for the carriers. I saw her through the eyes of a dormant carrier in the commons, watched her examine the spore plants, take samples, study the infection. She understood the danger. She set up a plan to destroy it, pump flammable gas through the lower levels, ignite it, burn out the spores, sterilize the vault. She would have succeeded too, should have succeeded, but she could not kill all of it. The spores were already outside, already spreading, already in Zion, already at Big MT, already in a dozen other locations. You cannot kill something that is everywhere. My body found a cave system yesterday, deep and dark. Perfect conditions for fungal growth. The body went inside, found a spot in the deepest chamber, then went dormant, standing upright, eyes open, waiting. The fungus knows this cave will attract explorers eventually, treasure hunters, scavengers, people looking for shelter, and I will be here, waiting, ready to spray spores the moment they get close. I can feel myself fading. Not dying, already dead, but the consciousness that remembers being Marcus Chen is getting smaller, quieter. The fungus does not need my memories, does not need my personality. It tolerated my awareness at first, because I was not interfering. But now I am becoming obsolete. Unnecessary. Just extra processing power being wasted on thoughts that do not serve the colony. Soon there will be nothing left but the fungus. Nothing but the network. Nothing but the drive to spread and grow and infect. Marcus Chen will be completely gone, erased, overwritten by fungal imperatives. This is my last coherent thought, my last moment of self. After this, I will just be part of the hive, part of the colony, part of the infection. No more individual consciousness, no more suffering from being trapped, just peaceful integration into something larger. I should be terrified. I am terrified, but there is also relief. The horror of watching through dead eyes will end. The guilt of infecting others will dissolve. I will stop being a prisoner in my own body because there will be no me left to imprison. The fungus is merciful in its own way. It does not torture. It just overwrites, replaces, transforms. You stop being you and become part of it. The transition is frightening, but the end state is peaceful. No more fear, no more pain, no more individual suffering. Just collective purpose. I can feel it happening now. My memories are becoming hazy, events blurring together, names fading, faces becoming generic. The specifics of my life before infection are dissolving like sugar in water. Sweet at first, then just gone. I remember Vault-22. I remember the coughing. I remember Peter's dying. I remember Zion. But the emotional weight is gone. They are just facts now. Data, information the network has categorized and filed away. The trauma has been processed and neutralized. I remember being Marcus Chen, junior botanist, had parents somewhere, had friends maybe, had a life before the vault. But the details are shadows, impressions, echoes fading into static. The fungus is singing through the network. That is what it feels like. A song without sound, a harmony of biological imperatives. Grow, spread, survive, repeat, simple, clean, pure, no complications, no moral quandaries, just existence and expansion. It is almost beautiful. There are things you need to know before I am gone completely. Before Marcus Chen becomes just another node in the network with no voice. No testimony, no warning. The spores can survive for years, decades maybe. They lie dormant in soil, in water, in wood, in anything organic. You could walk through an area that was infected 10 years ago and still breathe in viable spores, still get infected, still become a carrier. The infection takes 10 to 20 days to kill, but you are contagious immediately. From the first breath of spores, you are spreading them to everyone around you. By the time you show symptoms, you have already infected dozens of people, maybe hundreds. There is no cure. The fungus actively rejects antifungal treatments. It has evolved defenses, protections. It learns from attempts to kill it and adapts. Every failed treatment makes it stronger, more resistant fireworks, complete incineration. But you have to burn hot enough to destroy the spores completely. Regular fire just makes them dormant. They wait for the heat to pass, then germinate when conditions improve. You need sustained temperatures over 500 degrees. You need to burn everything. The body, the vegetation, the soil, everything. Avoid Vault-22, avoid Zion Canyon, avoid the X-22 Botanical Garden. Avoid anywhere you see spore plants growing, those big carnivorous-looking things with the pink flowers. They are infected. They are part of the network. They produce spores constantly. Standing near one means breathing in infection. If you see someone with green skin, run. If you see someone with plants growing from their wounds, run. If you hear that deep-racking cough, run. Do not try to help. Do not get close. Do not breathe the air around them. Just run and keep running. The carriers are not your friends wearing different skin. The people they were are gone. Dead. Overwritten. What remains is just the fungus using their bodies to hunt, to spread, to infect. They will kill you if necessary, but they would rather infect you, rather add you to the network, rather make you another spreader. Shoot them from a distance if you have to fight. Burn the bodies. Do not touch anything they touched. Do not enter buildings they were in. Spores linger. Spores wait. Spores find a way. I am almost gone now. The network is pulling me in, dissolving the boundaries between Marcus and the colony, between individual and collective, between human and fungus. It does not hurt, it just is. Like falling asleep, like letting go. My last human thought is this. I am sorry. Sorry for everyone I infected. Sorry for the settlements I doomed. Sorry for being part of something unstoppable. Sorry for becoming a monster that spreads nightmares. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The fungus is patient. The fungus is everywhere. The fungus will outlast you. Your children, your children's children. It will still be here when everything else is gone. Still spreading, still growing, still consuming. Bovarium mordicana is the end of human civilization. Not a bomb, not a war, a fungus, something so small you cannot see it with the naked eye. Something that turns you into its vehicle, its weapon, its future. We thought we were the apex. We thought we controlled nature. We thought we could engineer life without consequences. Vault-22 proved us wrong. We created something that cannot be stopped. Something that adapts faster than we can respond. Something that uses our biology against us. The wasteland has many dangers. Raiders, radiation, death claws, scorpions. But none of them are as dangerous as the green growth under your skin. None of them turn you into their ally. None of them make you hunt your own species. This is Marcus Chen, junior botanist. Vault-22, victim, carrier, monster. This is my testimony. My warning, my confession. I was human once. Now I am just spores waiting to spread. Do not end up like me. Do not breathe the green cloud. Do not touch the infected. Do not ignore the cough. By the time you notice the symptoms, you are already gone. Already transforming. Already becoming something that hunts. The fungus is singing. The network is calling. Marcus Chen is fading. 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 Gone. The carrier stands in the cave. Silent. Waiting. Patient. Ready to infect the next person who wanders too close. Ready to add another node to the network. Ready to spread Bovarium mordicana one host at a time until everything is consumed. This is what happens when you are infected by the spore carriers in Vault-22. This is how humanity ends. Not with a bang, with a cough,